Hello, hello. Today is Tuesday, September 23rd, I think, and I have a very playful kitty who refuses to be quiet for me to film. Can you be quiet, please? Today is Tuesday, September 23rd, and it is very wet outside. I was planning to shower this morning, and apparently it's very stormy, so that's not happening right now, which, yay. I'm almost done going through my manuscript and making notes, and then after that, we are going to make a brand new outline for this story and figure out all the parts that I'm missing that need to be in there. Because there are a lot. The second half of the book is less than half the book, so that's a problem. So today I will be continuing my read through of my manuscript. I am very close to getting done. I need to get at least halfway there so I can finish it by the end of day tomorrow. I am also going to bake a pie today. We got apples from a farmer's market on Saturday. I got them specifically so I could bake an apple pie. I'm still waking up, so I'm going to give myself a little time to fully do that. I'll probably eat breakfast and watch a little TV before I dive into doing anything. The storm finally passed and I was able to actually take a shower. My hair is much nicer now. Then after that I finished one of the books I was reading, and now I need to pick up my youngest from school, and then I'm going to work on some editing. I have my manuscript right here, so I'll be doing that once I get back. It has been a nice, slow day, but I still have a lot of progress I need to make on this manuscript. Most of what I'm doing today is reading, apparently, because I read some of the fairy tale book that I'm reading, and I read some manga, and now I'm going to read this. So today is reading and baking day, apparently. The dough is resting, so I'm going to work on the manuscript for a little while, and then I will cut the apples, make the filling, and bake the pie, and then get back to doing more on the manuscript. is in the oven. We'll update in a little bit. Good morning. Today is Wednesday. I don't know what the date is. Is it the 25th? 24th? I think it's the 24th. I've got a little bit of a headache, so I'm not ready to dive into reading and editing yet, but I just need to do exactly the same amount that I read through yesterday, today, and then I'm to the end of the story. I'm not sure I'm even to the start of the third act yet. Yeah, this latter part of the book is really rough. It's not good, but that's the point of this, is to make it good, to figure out where I need to flesh things out, where I need to add things in. There's so much missing that I just wasn't sure of or didn't know how to fix. That's just what I need to be working on now. Here in a few minutes, I have a phone call meeting with someone that works with my older kid. That shouldn't take too long. And then I have to do the edit. I do want to work more on this personal curriculum that I'm planning. I am intending to record a video about that tomorrow, hopefully. And then the only other thing I really need to be doing today is figuring out how to hem some pants. I have a sewing machine. This is one my mom gave me for Christmas a long, long time ago. I don't sew that often, and most of the time the sewing that happens is hand sewing, but I have 4 pairs of pants that I need to hem. My mom and I went over everything with the sewing machine again and helped me mark where to hem the pants. So I know exactly what I need to do, but I am very intimidated because I don't do this kind of thing that often. So yes, my plans for the day. I have a phone call meeting here in a few minutes. I need to finish reading and making notes on my manuscript. I need to hem some pants. And I need to finish planning out my personal curriculum. get that ready for video tomorrow. Those are the major things I need to do today. I'll probably try to fit in some more reading. I might also go hang out with my friend this evening. Other than that, I want this to kind of be a chill and relaxed day. Nothing too busy or frantic. I have 61 pages left. That's not much. I'm not quite done doing my read through for the day. I'm about 2/3 of the way through what I need to read today. I think I have like 20 something pages left to go through, which is not a lot, but my brain could use a little bit of a break. And it's after 1 o'clock now, and kids will be getting back in like an hour and a half. So that's not a whole lot of time. I want to be able to focus on the sewing aspect of this without children being distractions. I am relearning how to use this right now, which is super fun and feels kind of embarrassing, but whatever. This is all set up. I need to plug it in and get out the stuff I'm going to work on. I have 4 different pants that need hemmed. This is the one that is most egregious. That's how far it needs to go. And because it's so big, I'm going to cut off the hem here and then fold it over to about here and sew along that. This one, we did not fold over like that. My mom helped me go over this kind of stuff and measure where it needs to be. I think she put 1 pin in here to mark where it needs to be folded. So I'm going to cut all along here, then fold it over and hem it. The more important part is making sure that when it gets folded over, it is even there. So we just need to do that. And now I need to pin it in this position. Like, I don't doubt my ability to do this. My concern is mostly my skill level, making sure the pant legs are actually even. I'm not sure if I have that skill. I'll leave those there. And I guess generally what I need to do is stick it in here. Okay. Oh, I'm a little scared. Oh, this isn't working anymore, is it? Yeah, this is. Oh, that's awesome. This is bad. I fucked this up real bad. Okay, we're gonna turn you off because, man, I fucked that up good. I am a little confused. Am I going too fast or am I going too slow? Or is this related to the material? I feel like my mom probably would have warned me if that were a concern, though. Okay, that's cleaned up. I can always practice on something like this, but the bigger issue, I need to refill this guy. Oh, I don't need to refill this guy. Well, then what's the problem? Did it tear? What is happening? Okay, you go back in here somehow. Put away the sharp things. Okay, and again, turn it on so I can see. And you go down to grab that. Yeah, why? Why? Why is this happening? I don't understand what's happening. Nothing happened on this part. Is this a thread issue? Is it a speed issue? Is it the material I'm working with? I don't know, dude. Is it a thread tension issue? Am I forgetting something? I am forgetting something important. I knew there had to be a way for that to, like, go down. Is that the issue I'm having? Okay, so those are like that. On. Okay. Did that work? Hey, it did work. It helps if you do it correctly. Who'd have thought? I'm so mad. But at least I figured it out. That was bad. but not nearly as bad as before. Okay, so it worked. My biggest issue was definitely keeping it even. Does it look good? No. But does that matter? My biggest concern is I didn't do a good enough job and it will come out in the wash. I can always redo it, so that's not the end of the world. But I would definitely prefer for that not to happen, you know? This felt much better. I think both of these are terrible, to be clear, but it's more a question of do they work? So I'm gonna try these on and see how they look and how they feel. And I'm probably not going to attempt any of the others today. This was a lot. Also, the cats want lunch. Hello. This is without wearing shoes. Still got a decent length. And if I do need to like fold the hem over again, I think that would work pretty well. I might do that because it might still be a tiny bit long. I do like the like slouchiness. The other ones will definitely be much easier to hem because I don't have to cut them. I'm just going to fold them over and sew it. But it does require switching out the thread, I'm pretty sure. This isn't amazing by any means. This is bad. But it's so nice to have these hemmed and I can actually wear them. Anyway, I don't know if this was quite the break I wish it had been from my reading and revising and whatnot, but kind of. I guess we'll call this a success. It took some trial and error and seeing the lever. Yeah, no, this is great. This is embarrassing. It's fine. My kids will be home from school soon, and I also need to get back to reading my manuscript and finishing those last few pages. That's exciting, at least. I'm in my car because I am going to hang out with one of my friends, and I'm waiting for her at her house. I was running a little late because I was reading the final chapters of my manuscript, but she's later, so I guess that was fine. I actually managed to finish reading it in 2 days like I really wanted. So that means tomorrow and Friday will be devoted to outlining. I'm really excited about this. It is one of my favorite parts of the process. Like, I love revision. It's so much fun. So this is like the start of the revision process. I have, at least for the most part, achieved most of what I wanted to do today. So I'm going to have a nice relaxing evening with my friend, probably read a little bit and watch a little TV and just kind of chill. I'm supposed to be outlining right now or like filming a video. I've been up for a few hours, took my kid to school, did a couple small things, but I'm still just so tired and it's already after 11, so I just have to force myself to do stuff. But filming like a sit down chat video, well, I just feel bleh, not ideal. So I'm going to reorganize my bookshelves a little bit. Was this on my list of things to do today? No, absolutely not. Am I going to do it anyway? Yeah. I think it's something that will get me a little bit energized. I kind of like how I have stuff organized right now, but I've also gotten more stuff and I want to put it back to being organized based on whether or not I've actually read it. That feels like a good move. Yeah, I think I'm going to work on this for a little bit and then I will either film a video or do some outline. I need to do the outlining is a little bit more important. So I'm going to work on this for a little bit and then we're going to dive into outlining. Okay, so this is like publishing and marketing. This is like general writing stuff. This is editing. This one back here is like specific genre type of stuff. This one is about like plot and story structure. And this one is about like character and dialogue. So somehow I have to fit all of those here. It's not possible, but we're gonna do the best we can. Now I need to do it up here. I think these here might be the only ones I've actually read already. Oh. These are little scene cards that I've made for, these are ones for my Red Riding Hood whip, but I'm going to make updated ones in pretty colors for this final Billy book. So the first step of that is I'm going to be cutting them in half so that they are the correct size. They should be unlined, and there are a bunch of different colors. So I'm going to use 4 different colors for this. I'm going to have an Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and then 1 color for the plot points. So like the first plot point, the midpoint, and the third plot point will all be 1 color. So we're going to trim these, and then I'm going to write out all the stuff and then like try to fill in the spaces. Let's get to trimming these. Finally. So, those guys can go over there. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, plot points. These 2, I'm going to trim 20, so I need double that for green. And then I'll do about 10 of these. And I can always cut more if I need to. Let's get to it. great for much of the day, so I have not gotten nearly as much done as I wanted to. I was wanting to bake a banana bread and also record a video, and neither of those things happened. But I did make it about halfway through my outline. At this point, I'm just outlining the story as I have it now. So I'm halfway through the chapters that I've written. This version has 41 chapters. I have outlined through chapter 21. The problem is the midpoint is about chapter 26 because the structure of this is bad, and so much of the latter half, especially the third act, is incomplete. So I'm outlining it as it is now, and then I will go back in and revise the outline, add in the scenes that I need, clarify situations, just do general improvement. I made a decent amount of progress today for how shitty I have felt all day, but now I'm going to have some pie and ice cream and watch a movie and hope that I feel better tomorrow, because that's just how it has to go. Two-Face, he doesn't want to play with you. Hopefully the audio on this clip was okay, because I didn't put the mic on. Anyway, apple pie. God, that's good. Hello. I just recorded like 3 minutes of me talking using the phone mic instead of this because I didn't switch the input. Anyway, I would say good morning, but it is afternoon. It's actually like 2:30 now. I took my youngest to school this morning and then I went back to bed because I was still feeling terrible. I then slept until noon and then got up and did some garden work. I am cleaning up the iris bed right now, which should have happened ages ago, but oh well, it's happening now. So it is 2:30 and I'm only just now getting to the actual outlining. And I'm probably not going to get nearly as much done as I wanted to, but we'll be working on it today and tomorrow and maybe on Sunday too if I need to. I'm going to dive into it. Hi. I've made a lot of progress on this. It is Sunday night now. Unfortunately, I do not get a lot of time to work on my books during the weekend. I had my Writers Guild meeting yesterday, and then I also went to a neighborhood meeting. This is the first time that we've been to one of those. And then today I went with my youngest to a birthday party that was naturally very draining. My reverse outline is pretty much done. I have outlined everything that I have that happens in the book. The next step of this is I need to update the outline. There are so many things I need to update and change. Kat, I'm trying to record right now. You're so annoying. There are so many things I need to update and change, so many aspects that are missing. Like, one of the main storylines is Billy's relationship with her sister. And the climax of the story, there is no culmination of everything that goes on with them. There's no tipping point. There's no climax in that storyline. There's no resolution. Nothing happens. It just ends. And I'm like, how did I let this happen? This draft is such a disaster. That's what this part of the process is for, though. And I am like really excited about getting into revisions. I am excited to see how I can make this better, but all of the changes I need to make, all of the updates that I need to make just to this outline are so many, and it's a little bit overwhelming. So I think what I'm going to do is make a list of all of the missing scenes and moments. That's really just, I'm going to look through my notes on my draft again and like make a list of all of the stuff that I pointed out. And then I need to figure out how to implement that, and then I can just add all of that in and make the changes that I need to make to the outline so that I know what path the story needs to take on the next draft. But that is what I will be working on tomorrow. For now, I just want to enjoy a calm evening puzzling and watching a movie. I've been reading The Secret History. I am like 95% of the way done, and I'm going to finish reading it when I go to bed tonight. And I don't know, I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I really, really enjoyed it at the beginning, and a lot of that is like the mood is fantastic. The vibes are so good. The prose is really nice, and I absolutely love the premise. It is a fascinating premise, but the characters are barely barely characters. They don't feel like actual people. And then there's, like some very unnecessary racism that, like, why is that even there? There's some pretty blatant homophobia that comes primarily from one character, and it's not like you're really supposed to like this character, but in conjunction with the blatant racism, it's not a good look. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to watch Dead Poet Society because that is basically the same thing but better. There's no murder, obviously. It's a different premise, but the vibes and like the vibes. It's the vibes. That's really what I want. And it's just a perfect autumnal movie, and I don't know. I just want to work on this puzzle and eat one of my last slices of pie and watch a movie that I love and cry a lot. So that's what I'm going to do tonight, and I will hopefully be finishing my outlining process tomorrow. Good morning! It is Tuesday. This vlog was supposed to be over on Friday, so I'm not pleased about this. But because I wasn't feeling well before, we just have to roll with it. I am prepping to record a video that I meant to record on Thursday, but again, felt like shit, so we're doing it today. I'm gonna sit here. This is my stack of stuff I'm going to talk about. I need my laptop so I can see my notes. I also want my coffee over here somewhere. If I stick it there, you guys can't see it. Turn off the overhead light. Cat, are you staying or going? Whatever, you can stay, I guess. Plug in the ring light. How's this lighting? How do I look? I think I'm going to get closer. The problem is, I want my head to be at the correct height in the frame, but I also want to have the light, and the light won't be in the frame if I'm at the correct height, unless I were standing. Let's make some adjustments. This is a much better height. Update on where I am on the outline. Because today is the last day of September, I wanted this to be done by the end of the month. I am perpetually behind on everything, and I hate it so much. Even when I try to be realistic about my goals, somehow I'm still behind. I'm probably not actually super realistic about my goals. That's probably a lot of the issue. Anyway, my reverse outline is 3,794 words. I finished that part of it. Then last night I went through and made all of my notes, like 3 pages of handwritten notes. Everything that I need to update or change, all the scenes I want to add. The next step is basically to go through it all and redo the outline using those notes, make all of the changes I need to make, add in all of the missing scenes and like character arcs. I have so much to fix, but that's what I will be working on after I do this video and have my appointment. No, do not nuzzle the camera. Time to switch gears from talking about outlining to this video I'm going to record. I'm not sure which video will be out first, this one or the video I'm about to record. Probably the one I'm about to record because that will take so much less time to edit. I haven't even started editing this one, and one of my main goals was to be doing editing while recording stuff. It's been a week since I started this. I have a week's worth of footage. I have so much footage. Oh my god. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Since these 2 videos have taken longer because I wasn't feeling well, now I'm trying to have 6 videos in October? This is unrealistic. I don't know. This one I'm about to record shouldn't take too long, which is good because I have about 45 minutes until I need to get ready to go to my appointment. I don't have a lot of time. And recording usually takes me a while because I lose my train of thought and I get distracted and forget what I was saying. That's all just saying the same thing multiple ways. I also ramble. Put these in order. Put these in order. Okay, time to record a video. Okay, I just finished recording that. Hopefully it is okay. Now I need to go to my appointment, and then I'll probably get some boba and finish up this outlining disaster. So pink is Act 1, orange is Act 2, green is Act 3, and then yellow are like major plot points. So I've got like 2 things that need to go in Act 1 that are missing. So Act 1 is mostly in good shape. It's Act 2 and 3 that are a disaster. Good morning! Ignore the enormous mess that is my desk right now. It's really bad. It is October 1st now, so we're like 4 days over how long this video was supposed to be. Whatever, it's fine. Yesterday I expanded on my outline. I went through all of my notes and highlighted them in different colors. Pink is Act 1, orange is Act 2, green is Act 3, and then the yellow is a major plot point. So that's the first plot point, the midpoint, or the third plot point. As I've been expanding this outline and adding that stuff in, I've been crossing them off. Nothing on this last page is crossed off. About half on page 2 and about 75% on page 1 are all crossed off. So going through and updating the outline, I made it to the midpoint. The end of the midpoint is through chapter 27, which is mostly a problem because Act 1 was not that long, and the first half of Act 2 is more than double how long Act 1 is. So there's definitely still some things that need fixed and adjusted. I'm just not sure what all that is at this point. It took me, I think, 4.5 hours to get through those 27 chapters. I do not have that kind of time right now. I have about 2.5 hours before I have to go pick up my kid and take him to his occupational therapy appointment. So I guess it's time to dive in. Hopefully I will be able to work on this a little more after the appointment. We'll also see where my head is at and like how exhausted I am, or if I'm like excited to keep going. I don't have a whole lot of time, so we're gonna dive right in. Wow, it is like 5 o'clock and I am officially done with this outline for now. It is going to rest for about a month while I work on Red Riding Hood stuff and horror stuff, and then I'm going to go back through it and see if there's anything I need to change in that version. Today I finished going through and adding in all of the stuff I made notes about. Almost everything is crossed off except like 2 things, and I will hold on to those and see if there's a place where I can fit them in later. Those ones weren't really added in very well because they're not like specific scenes. It's just like, oh, I need to make sure that while Billy and Xander are in Florida, that they are keeping in touch with the other characters, that there is at least a hint of contact, not just that these other characters disappeared because they're not in the scenes. That's not a full scene, that's just like, it could be a single sentence here or there. I just need to pay attention to that, be aware of that while I'm working on the next draft, and that's all that really needs. It just needs to be a note written down somewhere that I can reference while I'm writing stuff. I went through and tracked how long each section is. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of lack of balance for the different acts. Act 1 has 8 chapters. Act 2, Part 1 has 13 chapters. That is huge, but also I've never really understood where exactly the plot points go. Like, does the first plot point, does that get tacked on to the end of Act 1? Or is it just a separate thing? I don't really know. I know the midpoint, like, is part of Act 2, period. Anyway, Act 1 is 8 chapters. The first plot point is 3 chapters. Act 2, Part 1 is 13 chapters. The midpoint is 4 chapters. Act 2, Part 2 is 11 chapters. The third plot point is 3 chapters. And Act 3 is 10. And then these are included in the 10, but half of that is before the climax, and half of it is the climax and the resolution. So that's chapters, and then I have lists of how many scenes there are. And so the reverse outline that I just did had 41 chapters and 67 scenes. This outline for the next draft has 52 chapters and 88 scenes. I have mixed feelings about this because that is definitely the highest number of chapters that any of these books have had. I will say each book has gotten more chapters, even though the length has been similar. Book 1 has the fewest chapters, but it's like the second longest. So the average chapter length has changed as I've written these books. So I'm not sure how exactly that will play out here, but I feel like I can look this up. I have books right here. Okay, book 3 has 45 chapters. So 52 chapters is a decent jump. I think there were like either 37 or 39 chapters in the first book. Going from 45 to 52, this book will have to be decently longer to make that difference of chapter numbers make sense, because otherwise the chapters are going to be really short, and that's weird. The chapters in these books tend to hover between like 2,000 and 2,500, like that's the normal range. Some of them are closer to 3,000 words, but that's rare. So this updated outline is officially done, and I will say the story is a lot more solid than I had previously thought, but most of that was from me outlining this. The reverse outline is a disaster. There's so much missing. I had over 3 pages of notes of things that just needed to be added in. And even then, there were parts, like, there's part of the second half of the book where, like, nothing happened for 2 months, which isn't necessarily an issue, but it was very jarring. So one of the things I had to go back in, and one of the chapters where I'm still rough on what happens in there, it's only a couple sentences, is in that area where it's like, I at least need to have one chapter during this section, or it will just not make any sense. It's done though. It has taken so many hours. I spent at least 4.5 hours yesterday. Today has been comparable. I had 2.5 earlier, and then I took my youngest to an appointment, and I had another at least hour and a half to finish up what I was doing. I was not sure I was going to finish it today, but I also knew I did not want to drag it out more because I need to edit this vlog. I have a video to edit. I have a live stream to prepare for, and I'm not prepared, and it's 2 days away. I imagine by the time this is posted, that will have already happened. So, yay me for actually doing it. Anyway, now that I have done this outline, this book feels like so much less of a disaster, and that makes me so happy and relieved. But it's going to be a lot of hard work to do this next draft. It will take a while. This draft will need to be at least 100,000 words. That is my goal. And with all the stuff that needs to happen in it, that is reasonable. 52 chapters, if my chapters are only 2,000 words, that's over 100,000. If any of them are bigger than 2,000 words, that's going to get way over. So I'm not really concerned about that. I am hoping that while I'm writing it, I am able to consolidate some of the chapters. It is hard to tell when you're making an outline where exactly a good place to cut between chapters is. So there will definitely be some alterations while I'm writing it. Until then, I get to focus on something else for a little while. Thanks for joining me in this process. It has been a lot, but I hope you had fun, and I hope that seeing my process, how I do this, can be helpful for your revision process. Make sure to stay tuned for more horror and autumn themed videos. I am really excited about the stuff I am working on this month, and I hope you are too. Later.